I really want a McChicken from McDonald's, but I'm doing a cut right now where I'm working on losing body fat and trying to get in the best shape that I can in 10 weeks. And a McChicken is loaded with calories. So I'm gonna show you the low calorie copycat version that I'm making instead. It satisfies my cravings while helping me stay in a calorie deficit so that I can meet all my fat loss goals. Eating meals like this every day really helped me look forward to what I was eating and helped me stay on track so that I could lose 130 pounds. And I've kept it off for 10 years. So let's get started, honey. This is what you're gonna need. First, the McDonald's website says that a McChicken is breaded seasoned chicken and crisp lettuce with mayo-style sauce, and Sassy loves that description. It doesn't say the kind of bun, but the website shows a sesame seed bun, so that's what we're going with. So what you're gonna need for my version for the patty, 7 ounces of lean ground chicken, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Then what you're gonna need for the coating, 2/3 of a cup of corn flakes. I'm using the Kellogg's brand. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. And then you're also gonna need some low-calorie buns. I'm using 2 of them. I'm making one for Sassy, one for me. The La Fournaise sesame seed brioche buns, and for reference, they are 160 calories a bun. And these are the lovelies right here. We also need 1/2 cup of shredded lettuce that has been divided into a 1/4 cup each. I love using the Your Fresh Market shredded lettuce from Walmart because I don't like doing extra work, so that's all done for me. And then 1 tablespoon of light mayo that has been divided into 1/2 tablespoon each. I'm using the Hellmann's half the fat. So let's get started. Before we get into it though, if you wanna know more of exactly what I ate and did to lose my weight, keep it off, and get in the best shape of my life, I have 4 weight loss ebooks. You can buy them all separate and use code Nicole to save yourself 10% off, or you can buy all 4 in my everything bundle for a cheaper price. Then use code Nicole to save yourself 10% off the already cheaper price for a double savings. The links are down below if you want to check those out. And if you're looking for a baller high protein snack or dessert, you gotta try these. They're HTLT Subs Seco bars, and this is the new s'mores flavor. Sassy and I just tried these the other day, and they are amazing. We heat them in the microwave for 10 seconds. They taste even more like a s'mores when you do that. It has a really good marshmallow aftertaste, and the coating tastes like the milk chocolate that you would use in a s'mores. Code Nicole will save you 15% off, and the link is down below for this. Protein at every meal is really important for weight loss because protein lowers your hunger hormone ghrelin and it helps you feel fuller longer. And that's great because it's normal to be hungry when you're eating in a calorie deficit. So having snacks like this that have great protein in them on hand, Sassy and I, we have these all the time. Throw them in our bag to go groceries or whatever. Now, let's start with the patty. Got a little bowl here. We're also gonna need some parchment paper. I'm just gonna slide that over. I'm gonna put the chicken in this bowl, okay? And then the seasonings. Oh, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and the salt. Now what I wanna do is just mix this up until it's really well combined. When I first started losing weight, anytime I got a craving, I would ignore and deny it. And all that did was cause me to have more cravings. Then all heck would break loose. I'd end up eating and eating and eating. and then I'd gain weight instead of losing it. So I realized if I actually wanted to get results and keep them, I was gonna have to stop making weight loss a punishment and start giving myself what I wanted when I craved it. But I learned to give myself low-calorie versions like this most of the time, because then I could satisfy my cravings and stay in a deficit so that I could actually get the results I wanted and enjoy what I was eating. And that's really important. So I always make sure that I make something like this that's super tasty, that tastes as close to the real thing as I can, so that I want to do it all the time. Okay, that looks so great. Now we're gonna start making these into the patty. So what I'm gonna do is divide this into 2 servings. They're gonna be about 3.5 ounces each. I've got my scale here, and I have some parchment paper. I'm just gonna put this on and zero it out. And then what you wanna do is, I got a little bit of water here. You're gonna wanna wet your hands a little bit so that the chicken doesn't stick to it. And then I'm just gonna work on dividing this evenly. Oh, only 2 tries? That's pretty baller.
Very good.
Yeah, so let's slide that one over there. Get this one zeroed out, and then let's see how. Okay, perfect. With the seasonings, it'll weigh like just slightly more than 7 ounces, so we'll just divide that. That looks good. I did about half each there. Okay, so this is perfect. I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we're gonna form these into like ball shapes. I'm just gonna get my air fryer preheated. So let's turn it on, get it on air fryer. This is a Ninja Foodie XL because we always get asked, so that's what that is, and we got it from Costco. I'm gonna cook these for 12 to 15 minutes, so I'm gonna set my timer for 15, and let's get it going. Okay, so I'm gonna roll these a bit more into a ball form. I'm gonna get some more water and just shape it a little bit better. Okay, that looks good. These smell good already.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, and do the same with this one. Great. Now we're gonna wash hands again and then do the coating. Okay, so let's get the cornflakes in the blender. Ding. And then the seasonings. So the onion powder and the garlic powder. I'm just going to put the lid on and process it on high until it's really finely ground. All right, so that looks really good. I'm just gonna put this on a plate now. Okay. And then we're gonna take one of these and roll it into the coating. I'm gonna try to get it pretty evenly coated. And now I'm gonna flatten it into a thin circular shape, like that. And then we just wanna dunk it again to make sure that it's really well coated. And then I'm gonna do the same with the other one.
Looks great.
It does, yeah. Now we're just gonna wait for the air fryer to finish heating, and then we'll cook them up. Okay, I sprayed the basket really well with cooking spray, and then I placed the patties in, and I lightly coated the tops with more cooking spray, and now they're ready to go. I'm going to cook these, like I said, for 12 to 15 minutes. I am gonna flip them halfway through, and I'm gonna check on them a couple of times throughout. All right, they're done and they look amazing. So they took 12 minutes at 390. I flipped them halfway through and I sprayed the tops with a little bit of cooking spray when I flipped them again. Now, let's put this together, bud. I'm gonna take one of the buns. I'm gonna put the McChicken patty on the bottom.
They're huge.
I know, they're massive and they're great. Let's put the lettuce on top. This is another thing, speaking of how big they are, why I love making my own low-calorie versions at home. I love the McChicken, but it never keeps me full. Like when I eat at McDonald's, I'm hungry like half an hour later and I gotta eat more. Where these are loaded with protein and they're really gonna help me feel full at the same time as getting out my McChicken craving. So now let's put the mayo on. We'll spread that around. The other thing is, fast food's like super expensive now. So like Sass and I could probably make a bunch of these for way cheaper than going and getting a couple of McChicken combos at McDonald's. That looks beautiful. So let's put that on top.
Whoa.
That looks awesome. And then let's move it onto the plate. And then I'm gonna do Sassaroonies the same. All right, so this makes 2 McChickens. Per sandwich, it's 352 calories, 11 grams of fat, 36 grams of carbs, and 26 grams of protein. And let's listen to McDonald's. So the McDonald's McChicken is 480 calories, almost 500 calories for a sandwich, 27 grams of fat, 45 grams of carbs, and only 16 grams of protein, which is not bad, but it's not 26. So by making my version, you're saving 128 calories, adding 10 grams of protein, and you're also saving 16 grams of fat and 9 grams of carbs by making this version right here.
And ours is way bigger too for that volume action.
Yes, that's the other thing. It's really small for the price at McDonald's. So look at how big you can make it and filling. And Sass and I always aim to make it as close as we can to the real thing. So let's cut this in half and then I'm gonna take a bite for you guys. Oh yeah. Hello, McChicken, welcome to my house. I'm a McDonald'ser. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.